Hi, everyone. I'm Jonathan King, and I'm here with your hosts, Ryan Morgan and Brian Kim.
What's up, Jonathan?
What's poppin'?
Hey, guys. Pleasure to have y'all on. Really excited about this episode. Ryan has been just super excited to get you on, Brian, and talk about some of the things that he's already been in discussions with you about and some of the stuff y'all are working on together. First, Brian, tell us a little bit about your background. I know you love e-commerce and you are definitely looking into lots of investments, but tell us a little bit about the story that we can tell our audience.
All right. I didn't come up from like a wealthy family or anything like that. We weren't the poorest family alive either, right? We had enough to definitely survive. I basically don't even have a college education, to be quite honest with you, right? And it's one of those things where I learned on at an early age that really hard work does forever pay. I spent about 10 years in banking and finance. Previously, I worked my ranks up from a entry-level banker to a private banker for wealth management, shifted over to a fintech firm where I was actually overlooking over a staff of a sales team with supervisors and even agents, anywhere from maybe about 50 to 70 people at any given time. And after this whole pandemic that happened, it was kind of like one of those shifts where I helped all these companies make so much money, ridiculous amounts of money. I helped a lot of clients make a ridiculous amount of money. And I'm thinking, what am I doing for myself? So earlier this year, I kind of shifted. I've been investing pretty much for a very long time, but this was the first journey that I really took to start in really starting to build an empire, right?
Okay.
So that's pretty much the story. And here I am here today.
Man, Brian, that's amazing. One of those things I do want to touch on is, you said you started investing a while ago.
Yes.
For some of the listeners, they may, have started saving. They may just be dabbling in investing. What was that first thing you did to start really getting into it? Was there a process to educate yourself? What were you investing in?
When I started the journey of investing, I was always interested in stocks, right? And I would say for any new investor, when you make the first investments, either go with like a very more conservative, like an ETF, or go with companies that you are comfortable with. You see like Best Buys or Starbucks or Google. Doesn't matter where it is, right? We got to start somewhere. You just got to start. That's the most important thing, right? I'm also invested, for example, in real estate as well. So I do have a rental property. Unfortunately, with the rental properties, I find that unless you're really flipping it, right, it's a very slow growth, right?
Yeah.
I see why a lot of people really love real estate, but me personally, myself, I feel that I can just scale my money so much faster in other vehicles. And now I'm on the journey of e-commerce.
I love it, which brings us to, how you and Ryan got connected. So,
Okay.
Ryan, if you want to talk a little bit about that, tell us how you and Brian have joined forces to start building what's coming. I don't even know if I can talk about it yet. So that's the thing, man. I know y'all are working on something amazing, but
Yes.
but tell us about how y'all got connected.
Yeah, Brian just, he came in through my site, alldonconsulting.com, and I'm pretty sure he just called me. He started asking me a bunch of questions. Like, you were one of the inbounds, just ringing, like, hey, is this you already knew everything about me and stuff. Asked all the questions, and it was definitely I could feel the energy on the first phone call. I was like, oh, this guy is serious. I was like, this guy's dead. Trying to invest. And it was just funny, man. What it came down to is he wanted to buy Shopify stores, and he came back and he said, actually, I want to get 2 stores. And at the time, we were selling Shopify stores for $30,000, and he was like, can you give me a deal? And I said, $55,000 for 2 stores. And he's like, Ryan, that's the best deal you can give me.
I called him out on that, right? I was like,
I love it.
I wanted to work with this guy really bad. Like, I just felt that vibe, that connection, right? Even from the start. And I was just like, I think Ryan's someone who could definitely be more than just a partner, right? So I really want to, and I'm huge about partnerships, by the way. I think when it comes to business, everybody's going to be an expert or they're going to have a skill set for something. But if you really want to grow great businesses, empires, right? You can't do it by yourself. It's impossible, right? I know a lot of like people who create the wealth, right? Mark Cuban himself. What does he do? He always partners up with people. He always wants to work with people that are smarter than him, for example, right? And these are a lot of the things I took into my own practices, and I found that I was having a lot more success when I started actually taking less of the pie, partnering up with people rather than trying to do and conquer everything myself. But yeah, that was the moment. I mean, I talked to Brian. I knew that he was somebody I wanted to be vested with. It wasn't so much the business itself, it was the individual.
Wow.
It was Brian. That's what. So he really impressed me a lot. We went back and forth on a couple calls. I did extensive research on who he was, got to know the guy. And next thing before you know it, yeah, I mean, we started a business together.
I love it, man. What an incredible story. On to that point, what are some of the best qualities and maybe some of the things that Ryan had that stood out to you? What are those qualities of partners that you're looking for?
High energy, that's one, right? Passionate. You can hear in people's voices if they're passionate about something or if they're not, right? I love working with people who grind as hard as I do. Me personally, I'm at a point where working is more like an addiction, a passion, rather than feeling like it's work, right? People, like even all my corporate positions I took, people are telling me, Brian, go home already. Like, stop, take a vacation. And it's kind of crazy. I have just one of those addictive personalities. When I'm really into something, I just want to get it done. And same thing with work, it just doesn't feel like work, right? I felt with Ryan, he was one of those guys who had that grinder, that hustler mentality. But also, I felt that he had a very good skill set in what he did.
I love it.
Some skills I felt that he did lack, but the areas where I lacked, Ryan kind of compensated that, and the areas where he lacked, I kind of compensate that. And that's why I think that the business partnership that we made was just a marvelous thing.
I love it. I love it. And Ryan, even talking about new partnerships, which is what you guys typically do through All Done Consulting, when you're offering a store, you're actually going in as a business partner and providing that all done portion of the business. What are you giving that special?
What's giving it special is we actually, what we do is just different. Like we like our motto is we did the work, we have the proof, it's all done. Like we actually have tested 8 different experts, and we have a bunch of people that are that we have direct access to, that we work with every day, that have proven stores that are making money, and we've been able to find the best deal. That's what makes us special. There's a lot of people who just say that they're the best, go with me. We've been able to identify who's the best, and we continue to strive to find better experts, and we ultimately just want to be able to create our own e-commerce empire, our own funds, essentially. Like a machine that just makes more money into more money. And it's not even about like what makes us different at All Done Consulting is, yes, right now we're offering e-commerce stores, but what we're doing is just creating a network of capital so that it doesn't really matter what we're selling.
I love it. I love it. Well, man, that's definitely incredible. One of the things we were talking about before we pressed that red button and started recording was, the idea. And I know what Brian had just recently explained to us as well was how he bought into you. And so, Ryan, I wanted you to elaborate on something you told me earlier. You were talking about how you have given people advice on how to find investors that will invest in them. And Brian has said, he really looked at the investment as an opportunity. It almost didn't matter what the business was, but he was investing in you because of your energy. How do you position yourself to be able to sell your idea and make it good enough for an investor like Brian to come in and say, hey, I want in?
That's a great question, John. And that's actually something that I've been working on. That's why I've been creating a training program to teach people how to structure a funnel, basically. any business is essentially just like the ability to automate your customers. And if you come up with a way that where you can position yourself in a certain market with a product, service, or information, or a network, then you can get rich. You can create like any amount of money for yourself. You can like package the price and decide how much you make. So what you have to do is do the work in terms of the research of what people want in a certain marketplace. So, you know, there's red oceans and blue oceans. I teach in my program that it's always better to work in a blue ocean, meaning it's a space where there's not a ton of competitors. So, like, for example, it's my belief that I will successfully teach thousands of people to do what I've accomplished in the last year in terms of just being able to give intelligent presentations to investors and convincing them to go into e-commerce and then creating relationships with them, as opposed to like, you know, you can do and become an insurance agent or a real estate broker. That's more of a red ocean because those are industries that have been around for like, you know, hundreds of years. So like what we say is like, you know, set up a business in a blue ocean, and you have to do the research on what people want. And I actually just show people how to structure your business plan, how to basically make it an irresistible offer. Also, how to close deals, essentially. So like, that's all closing deals is. Like, that's what I want to teach people about. Is like, it's not even about like being good at sales. It's like if you like make a deal that's so good, the person will give you the money. Like, and like that's what I was able to do. Like, I was able to become so valuable based upon I had so much proof. Like, and like they can hear like the conviction that I'm like, bro, I can take care of you if you want this. Like, done. And that's what you get people. That's how you get people to buy into you because like they can hear it. That like, I'm like, look, man, if you don't do it, it is your loss, and I'm trying to help you. Like, that's how that's not sales.
I love it,
That's
man. And I know I say I love it a lot, but it's because I love it, man. And I totally agree. And I think even since I was able to connect with you, Ryan, that's your light. That's your unique gift in the world is having that energy and being so passionate about something, and it's that bigger picture. And so that seems to be what Brian was attracted to, the same thing that I've been attracted to. And after $700,000 in sales, I've been doing my research. You know, after 700 grand in sales in the last year, a lot of people are attracted to that. So that's incredible information you've just, you know, been able to share. So I appreciate it. So, Brian, tell us kind of what is your hopes and goals with this investment? You've taken a role as a partner in this, and you're going into this new business. When you're investing in something, what are you expecting out of that?
ROIs, right? No, but I'm looking at the bigger picture now, right? It comes to a point where I think sometimes we put too much of an emphasis or focus on the money itself. We forget a lot of times the vision, the destination, right? Obviously, if you're doing something right and people share into your vision or into what you're selling, the money will always come. And I think sometimes we just focus too hard on the wrong things, right? Especially when we start a new business. When I originally started this first business, and just because this is like my very first podcast I ever did, right? We'll give you a peek of what's going on, right? But we are launching a networking, right, with the coaching program, which is going to be for players only club, right? And just to go into a little gist of that, that's something we're hoping to launch very shortly, right? Offering a lot of people a lot of mentorships, a lot of different education, but also to be able to provide them with a solution, whether it be achieving financial freedom or avenues to get there, right? When I originally came to Ryan, I was just like, get me 2 stores. I just wanted to make money. That's it, right? I don't want to do crap. Like, I don't want to do anything in this, right? And it was kind of funny because he then told me about the initial vision for players only club. And the thing is, I spent in the past years, I've been fortunate enough to learn so much, right? I've been doing a lot of consulting for a lot of very big businesses as well. So along with the banking, along with the financial consulting, right? Along with even being able to work for a company that scale to multi-billions of dollars, right? To be able to be part of all that, really gave me or placed me in a position where I got to really educate myself a lot in the industry and how business works, right? And I want to be able to one day be able to like teach that acumen to other people, right? I want to be able to help everyone I can in this life, right? At some point, like I want to be able to give back as well, right? So even simultaneously for the investments that I go into, the partnerships I make, right? I find that a lot of people have great skills, whether it be in marketing, whether it be setting up these e-commerce. But then you talk to them about something as simple as, hey, are you prepped for taxes? And people are just like mind blown, like, what? What do I need to worry about? Make money, spend it. It's like, wow, no, there's more to business than that. You're about to literally screw yourself over comes next year, right?
Yep.
So Players Only Club is going to offer a lot of that educational piece, right? We're going to do a lot of mentoring, a lot of coaching. We're going to also be able to give them different routes, to really achieve what they want to achieve, more importantly. Ryan, you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, well, honestly, like I said, we're giving people the path to get what you want. I actually spoke to a young man last night, and he was pretty troubled, and I was just so excited because I was like, I can't wait to like where I can like just like hand them like a business card or just be like, well, go to this site and I'm gonna connect you to people that are gonna change your life. And it's gonna be for the price of like a used mattress. I'm gonna literally give you all the information that you need to get what you want in life. And like, and what it was like his biggest problem was he wasn't even like worried about money, even though he didn't have money. It was it's really funny, Brian. He had a lot of anxiety. And he was like really nervous. He had nervous energy, and he said he's like I could tell that you said you're healthier than me, like spiritually.
Okay.
And he said that to me, and he was like there's just so much we have to offer like within the Players Only Club. Like we've invested a lot into like essentially what we've just created is just a network of experts that are just kick ass at what they do, and we just have collected so much information, so much experience. Hundreds of years of experience. And like I said, we're just going to bring people together, and it's going to be like a buffet type of program. It's not something where it's like you have to go through the whole thing. It's going to be like, what do you want? And we will tailor this mentorship, this education, this network. We're going to introduce you to the right people, and we're going to make sure a year from now you'll be closer to those things that you want in life. And that's what we're doing. I'm really excited about it.
That is definitely a powerful vision by you guys, and I know you will build it. Just watching you work over the last year, Ryan. I know you create something and you paint the picture and you commit to doing it and you make it happen. So,
you better.
Just gratitude for showing up how you show up, and you as well, Brian. Man, this is for me. I'm very very spiritual in the sense of how everything is functioning and how things align and how purpose works. Like all of these things line up. But Brian, even going back to the beginning, how did you find out about All Done Consulting?
When the pandemic hit, I saw a lot of people losing jobs. I saw a lot of people going on furlough, right? It was one of those things where it's like brick and mortar, right? Was all of a sudden starting to all shut down, right? Riots are happening. It was such a sad time what happened during the pandemic and stuff like that, right? That ignited this idea where it's like, you know what? I want to do something that won't be slowed down because of economic problems, right? And obviously e-commerce gives a funnel for that. So I got very passionate. I was literally up night and day. I would lose sleep, but I was researching, learning everything I could about the whole e-commerce game, right? I kid you not. You could look it up. Guys like Scott Hilsch, he had the YouTube on starting this is how exactly you build a drop shipping store to other experts out there, right? I was reaching out to anyone that I possibly could. What I found out was I'm good at the business aspect of it, but something like product searching, marketing, things like that, that's not something I'm 100% familiar with, right? So I knew that if I want to be successful in this, the only way that was going to work is, all right, got to reverse engineer the formula all over again, right? It's kind of like when I was a banker, for example, right? One of the biggest successes of how I was able to get my connections to so many businesses, right, was instead of going business to business like every other banker was doing, I reversed it. I started finding the CPAs that actually did the financials, the bookkeeping for the businesses, networked to them, and they were just bringing me all their clients, right? It was crazy. But if you want to be successful, it's not the fact that, yeah, I get the hard work. It's important, but always do it in a smarter aspect. You got to be beating your competition. You got to do something or leverage something that other people aren't. And that's the reason why I love partnerships. And going back to the e-commerce, I knew I wasn't going to be the guy who was going to be able to find all these products or do all this marketing, right? I can structure the business. I can handle the bookkeeping. I can do all of that. So that's where I started calling like different companies out there. I started interviewing a lot of people. When you have a partnership before you start, it's just like an interview, right? It's a date, right?
Yep.
Are you gonna get married to this person? That's what a business is. That's what a partnership is, right?
Yep.
So I started talking to everybody. Ryan wasn't the only one. I did actually place some other investments with some other companies and experts as well. And it was just right there. That's where I really just started this whole e-commerce investment, I guess, or an e-commerce portfolio, as you can say, right?
That is wonderful. And guys, if you notice what's happening on this podcast right now, Brian is he's opening the curtain a little bit and giving you some of the tips that can help you in your business. These things of how he re-engineered how the traditional process of networking works in that finance and banking industry is something you can apply to your business, and go to the source. He said he went to the CPAs instead of going to the business.
Yep.
You go to a CPA, they probably have 50 to 100 clients. They've got great relationships with these people. And if they buy into you, which is what Ryan has been saying, they buy into you, then they're going to, quickly be able to give you referrals. They be like, hey, Brian's my guy. You need banking, he can take care. Look, stop messing with the bank that doesn't care about you. They don't know your name when you walk in. You need to work with an expert. You need to work with somebody. So this podcast is called Engineering Wealth for a reason, because these are the type of guys that can show you how they did it and what they're doing. So, man, absolutely just great content, just powerful. So anything that you guys want to leave with the audience? I know we've talked investments, we've talked business. What is that first step? Say I've got $10,000 saved up. The economy is about to go crazy globally. And what should people be doing right now? They want to prepare themselves for the unknown. What advice would you guys give?
I would say in my it's about to be 7 years of working online, the fastest way to make money online is to buy into networks successfully. Meaning get as close as you can to people that have exactly what you want.
Wow. Beautiful. Brian?
Sacrifice. First of all, you gotta put in the work. You gotta put in the effort. That's foremost of anything else, right? When you're young, especially when you're on this journey, I don't care what industry you're in or where you're trying to go, right? You got to figure out the cash flow, the bills, the lights still got to stay on, right? We all got to put that sacrifice. But if you're going into a field or whatnot, if you want to be an investment banker, for example, or if you want to be a company CEO or a restaurant manager, I don't care what it is, put in the work. Go ahead, take a job even to start off. That's what I did, right? I take a job, start off in what you're interested in, and just grind. You better be the first one in the office, the last one out, and learn everything you can, right? While you're learning, you're also at the same time building your network, right? Everybody that you feel can one day advance you or whatnot, right? Especially your peers. We overlook the peers, right? Hey, he's my equal. He or she's not, she's not in that management position yet, right? You never know. Because if someone gets promoted and you guys have that network, that friendship, right? Hey, that relationship, you never know the opportunities you're opening yourself to, right? Don't ever limit yourself, right? And while you're doing that too, keep asking for opportunities. Go out there and go network to everybody you can that's related or correlates to that field, or what you think may even. You never know when you're going to need to give someone a call, right? That's probably like one of the best advices I could definitely give.
Man, y'all just it's too much. It's too much. Y'all are just giving too much. But you know, I think the audience and I even appreciate this. So that's just incredible, man. Well, thank you guys for being on. Brian, this has just been another great episode of Engineering Wealth. Amazing guest, amazing opportunity to see you guys talking and see how y'all vibrate together. And I'm just really excited to see what you guys are building with Players Only Club and the e-com stores, and even in the future. You know, I call you guys forward to really push yourself to the edge and commit to teaching so many people. I think you both have a gift of wanting to and being able to educate people and help them change their lives, and something that is aligned with your purpose. So just challenge there, something I'm seeing that just comes up, and just thank you guys for bringing the heat today. So
Yeah, thank you for having us here.